Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I Play Skyrim, a Farrago of legendary bits. My name's Chris, and I am playing Skyrim for the first time on Legendary, and I stripped away all the mods, so that's what you are watching. Any mods that affected gameplay. So, I am essentially here after Riverwood, right outside. And this actually picks up from my legendary video, which I also just uploaded. And so I'm heading to Whiterun at this point. And along the way I'm double checking to make sure the mods didn't load somehow and they're not here. But there, I believe, is the road to Bleak Falls Barrow, which I previously stated I can never ever find, and I don't know how I missed it 100 million times, but hey, it's a vast landscape, isn't it? I mean, they do direct you, but not really well. So on this, I have my very basic Ada Helgen gear. I believe I smithed a bow for myself in Riverwood. I was able to get the components together to make a slightly better hunting bow type. And this isn't exactly fluid, so these clips are interspersed. I had just recorded random moments and was able to throw them together into one fluid clip. So we're going to do a couple scenes, briefly, a couple touch-ups, which is going to bridge the gap between Helgen and picking up the future episodes where Boaz had left off. Both characters, Chivalry here, has already gotten Amren's sword in the current timeline as well, so that has already been achieved. So episode 7 will pick up just with Chivalry, somewhere in Skyrim. I have an idea, but we'll see. So around here, I am getting ready to make my Olympic sprint down to fight the giant in the field to impress the companions. I don't know why. I don't know why I care, but I always do. And I feel downhearted. Boaz didn't make it in time, missed his shot. But Chivalry is here to save the day, as you will see. So we just pull out our bow and start taking crazy wild shots. Hoping above hope not to hit the companions, because I have done that before. Just once, you know. I managed to adjust my aim after that, but here I get quite a few shots in on the giant, which is awesome. You can see my archery level going up. And I believe at one point in between these video clips, I trained once or twice with Faendal. No. Sorry, no. No, I did not. This is all strictly archery, and I did pick up a skill book or two in the process.
You look strong. Come to your Vasker and be a companion.
And here I'm really just wrapping my mind around what I'm gonna have to do to make this playthrough work. Of course, I'm broke, so that is a big concern.
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in your Vaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to
And
them...
generally speaking, I don't even join the companions every playthrough. Maybe 1 out of 5 runs I do, 1 out of 5 characters, just specifically when I feel like being a werewolf. And so, of course, you know, there are certain aspects of their quest line which are locked off unless you join them, so you just sort of either adapt with mods. There's a mod that allows you to move the word wall. And here we go. See? Hold on. Yep, the Jester quest. Yeah, so that's Immersive Citizens. That allows Uthgerd to be out front there and give me that quest. I had not ever had that happen until installing that mod. And Immersive Citizens, again, I left it, not affecting gameplay. And we are about to enter Whiterun, which is a modded city, I will say that. So I did have a slight advantage when it comes to the alchemy run that I did do, in terms of having a little bit more easy access to some ingredients. But I literally do very often just take 15-20 minutes and scour like the area to the east there for butterflies and things like that, and I know I even did that too there, just to get as many alchemy ingredients as possible, and it all worked out really well.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask your
So you'll see Whiterun, a city full of life, and it literally means it because they fill the city with insects. You're running along and suddenly you're stopped and you don't know why. Oh, it's a bee. Yes, a bee has occluded your path. A bee has stopped the Dragonborn. Yeah. So, but it's a good mod. Lots of hanging moss about, which is really handy. So I'm just gonna grab some of these things here, and you can see right now I'm actually looking just to ensure that my mods did not load. So my Breeze Home Basement is not here, as well as my cheat chests, which I just perused around the side of the house there for. So none of those are there. And yep, gathering a bunch of stuff for my alchemy, and the alchemy does affect my level a little bit. I think I hit 1 or 2 levels just from mixing the potions in Arcadia's Cauldron. The second dragon we ended up fighting. Oh no, this was the first because it's all sequential. Forgive me, but yeah, this is when I remembered to turn on the recording so that I could get the footage. We had already been fighting it for quite a bit when it landed out here, and I have to say this was the first dragon, and this one actually landed inside the city walls as it was flying about, and then we had to wait for it to come back out of the city walls. But it did. It kept landing inside. It was super weird. I've never had a dragon in Whiterun before. But thanks to the amazing Whiterun guards, well, when it comes to fighting a dragon, apparently not bandits, but when it comes to the Whiterun guards here, they do a pretty decent job. And there's even a horse. Oh, horse. Horse. We did it, horse. And you may have noticed there's some magic being spammed at the dragon. That was actually Kiara, one of the Khajiit kitty kids. And through at least 3 different runs, when dragons have appeared, there's been a Khajiit kid nearby. And the Khajiit kids blast the dragon with magic. It's entirely impressive. And pretty fun to watch, if I have to be honest. And I don't have to, but I'm going to be.
Dead then?
It's really dead then?
What is it, Khajiit?
This was a super tough choice. Do I go for the zooming in, or do I just go for the extra damage? And I ultimately went for the extra damage, because if I can't, I don't know, I just felt like it was the right thing to choose additional damage at this point. Initially, choosing where to spread out your points is usually pretty difficult, but I have to say that because of the legendary difficulty, I have really been focusing on throwing as many points as I can into my archery tree. And that was a rough edit. I did look at Kiara's wares. I didn't buy anything. I sold her the dragon bones and dragon scales because I don't have a house yet, so I have nowhere to store them. And here is where I begin pillaging all of Whiterun for every farmer's crops. All the vegetables I can find, all the wheat, all of it. Veggie soup, indeed, and then selling off whatever was of any value. Unfortunately, carrots, potatoes have no value. Leeks, nothing. So I sold off what I could, but I did clean out all the farms, including the wheat down the way. And for my second mention, you'll see me now. I'm heading down towards Honningbrew Meadery, where I will empty out those barrels of the Honningbrew mead. And as soon as I emerged from Bleak Falls Barrow, the dragon was flying overhead. I ducked back in. It was back and forth. I died a couple times. And I will say here that I am grateful through this playthrough that Janessa is naturally immune to fire. That has come in handy more times than I can count so far, being Dunmer. So, and I decided I needed more money. Where do you go when you need money? You go to the gold mine, Kolskager, because not only do you get 29 ingots when you're finished, but you also get the reward from Pavo for clearing out the Forsworn. I didn't record right away because I wasn't sure it was going to go well. I wasn't sure I was going to use any of this at any point, but I had it, and I had a couple short videos, so I figured put them together, and let's tell more of the story of Chivalry here in Skyrim. I am trying to get my sneak up as well when I'm in here, so this is definitely a zone where I'm sneaking, and I start going down this way, and then I remember that there's a hole in the ceiling, and if you go too far down, they actually detect you, and then you get bombarded by all the rest of them coming up this hallway here, which was actually what I was anticipating when I'm creeping and sticking my head around, to be very, very, very quiet. And I don't know if anybody else, I have this problem. I'm always hitting my followers. They take a fair bit of damage. Occasionally I am responsible for their death, and then I have to restart the timeline and quantum leap it. And but even here you'll see I'm going to hit Janessa a couple times, and she takes it. God bless her. She does complain, but that's fine. But that's me, It becomes impossible. How can you not hit your follower when they're dancing around in front of you? See? Look at that. How was I supposed to prevent that? So, and then I hit her again. See? She does it to herself. I kind of feel bad, but maybe not.
I'll see you burn.
I fully expected to die quite a few times coming up against these Forsworn, and certainly the Briarheart at the top of this hallway would have been a tremendous challenge, as you will see, without a fireproof companion, because the Briarheart starts spamming fire spells, and he summons a flame Atronach, and Janessa's right up there, just, fight me. She's so brave. But it's funny, I can see our relationship has changed. I got her some better gear, and after I got her some better gear, she started talking nicer to me, as if we had a relationship. But you can see here I've only got 3,200 gold, and from buying things, and buying my first 1 or 2 soul gems were painful, because they're so ridiculously expensive when you don't have any points put into speech, and you have no way to discount your speech. Even the Amulet of Zenithara's 10% is a pittance. But so we finished up here, and then we of course go ahead and we clear out the mine, and trying really hard here not to hit her. And thankfully, she's blocking that fire for me, because that would have been probably death. As you can see, my smithing went up a couple levels. I did smith a different set of gear, again with the mercenary armor mod, which just gives you access to the different textures in the game. So that was this episode. That was a Farrago of Legendary Bits, playing on Legendary with Chivalry. And once again, my name is Chris. I appreciate you watching. Please tune in for some more. Thanks.